In the age when dragons were said to sleep beneath mountains and the gods still walked in men's dreams, there rose a prince of the north whose name would echo from the icy fjords of Scandinavia to the sun-scorched ruins of Rome. They called him Bjorn Ironside, son of Ragnar Lothbrok, brother to Ivar the Boneless, Ub, and Halfdan Ragnarsson, a warrior so fearless that steel could not pierce his skin, and so ambitious that even the edge of the world could not contain him. His saga is one of war and wonder, of kingdoms burned, seas crossed, and glory chased to the ends of the earth. But behind the myth lies the man, a son seeking to step out of his father's shadow, to carve a legacy of his own upon the bones of Europe. This is the tale of Bjorn Ironside, the Viking who became a legend. Bjorn was born into a world of iron and prophecy. His father, Ragnar Lothbrok, was already famed, a warrior king who had raided Paris and terrified the coasts of England. His mother, Aslaug, was said to be descended from the dragon slayer Sigurd and the shield maiden Brynhildr, bloodlines steeped in the sacred fire of the sagas. From childhood, Bjorn was different. The old skalds say that when he was still a boy, he could wrestle grown men and row the length of the fjord without tiring. His father, Ragnar, saw in him both ferocity and leadership, the promise of a man who could command not just ships, but destiny. The nickname Ironside came early. One tale claims that during a battle in his youth, Bjorn was surrounded and struck again and again by enemy blades, yet no sword could wound him. Whether by miracle, armor, or sheer endurance, he survived, and from then on, he was called Bjorn Jarnsia, born the Ironside. The death of Ragnar Lothbrok at the hands of King Gla of Northumbria in 865 changed everything. Ragnar was thrown into a pit of vipers, and as he died, he foretold vengeance. The piglets will squeal when they hear how the old boar suffered, and squeal they did. Ragnar's sons, Bjorn, Ivar the Boneless, Ub, Sigurd Snake in the Eye, and Halfdan, united their forces to bring fire and ruin upon England. In 865 CE, the great heathen army landed upon English shores, a coalition of Viking warlords commanded by the sons of Ragnar. While Ivar masterminded the campaign with his cold, calculating brilliance, Bjorn proved himself on the field, leading raids, breaking fortresses, and winning the loyalty of thousands. The Anglo-Saxon Chronicle recorded the invasion as a terror unlike any before. A great heathen army came to the land of the English, and they spread destruction far and wide. Under their command, York fell, Gla was captured, and the prophecy was fulfilled. Bjorn stood among his brothers as Gla was executed, perhaps by the dreaded Blood Eagle, and their father's death avenged. But for Bjorn, vengeance was only the beginning. While his brothers turned their eyes toward ruling England and Ireland, Bjorn yearned for horizons beyond the North Sea. He wanted to see the world his father had spoken of, the lands where the sun burned hotter, where cities of marble touched the clouds, and where kings ruled empires older than Odin himself. According to the sagas, especially the tale of Ragnar's sons and the saga of Hervor and Heidrek, Bjorn gathered a fleet of long ships and set sail southward with Hesting, another great Viking chieftain. Their journey became one of the most legendary expeditions of the Viking Age. They plundered France, raided along the Iberian coast, and sailed through the Strait of Gibraltar into the Mediterranean Sea, an unimaginable feat for northern raiders of that time. The Frankish chronicler William of Jumijes wrote that Bjorn and his men ravaged the coasts of Spain and Gaul, defeating Muslim and Christian alike. They reached the lands of the Saracens, attacking the cities of Algeciras, Enchines, and Arles, cutting a fiery path across the ancient Roman world. But Bjorn sought more than plunder. He sought eternal fame. One of the most remarkable tales, half legend, half history, tells of Bjorn's assault on Rome itself. In truth, historians now believe the Rome he attacked was Luna, a heavily fortified city in northern Italy that the Vikings mistook for the Eternal City. But what followed became one of the greatest episodes in Viking lore. Unable to breach Luna's mighty walls, Bjorn devised a plan worthy of Loki himself. He sent messengers to the city, announcing that he had fallen ill and wished to convert to Christianity before he died. To prove his sincerity, he asked that his body be brought into the city for burial in consecrated ground. The people of Luna, believing the famous Viking was dead, opened their gates to receive him. They carried his coffin into the church with full ceremony. But as the priests gathered around the altar, Bjorn leapt from the coffin, axe in hand, and his warriors swarmed in behind him. Luna was sacked, its riches carried back to the ships. The tale of the dead Viking who rose again became the stuff of legend across Europe, and though some chroniclers doubted it, others swore it was true. For who but Bjorn Ironside could outwit death itself? After years of conquest, Bjorn returned to Scandinavia, laden with treasure, gold, silver, silk, and relics from the south. His fame was unmatched. The skalds sang that he had seen the world's edge and returned unbroken. By the late 9th century, Bjorn established himself as a ruler in Sweden, possibly founding the House of Munch, one of the earliest royal dynasties of that land. Archaeological finds from Bjorn and Munch have long been associated with his name, and many historians believe that the early Swedish kings traced their lineage to him. He ruled as King Bjorn at Uppsala, according to later sagas, and his descendants, real or legendary, would reign over Sweden for generations. The sagas do not agree on how Bjorn died. Some say he fell in battle, sword in hand, as a warrior should. Others say he died peacefully, an old man surrounded by gold and glory. Whatever the truth, he was buried, it is said, in a great burial mound at Munch, overlooking the Lake Mälaren. The mound still stands today, a silent hill beneath which, legend claims, lies Bjorn Ironside, the son of Ragnar, the raider of Rome, the unbreakable Viking. Bjorn Ironside was more than a warrior. He was the embodiment of the Viking spirit itself, fearless, curious, unrelenting. Where Ivar the boneless was the mind, and Ub the heart, Bjorn was the soul of Ragnar's sons, the one who dared to cross the known world, not for revenge, but for discovery, adventure, and immortality. His raids reshaped Europe's coasts. His journey through the Mediterranean brought the Norse into contact with the empires of Aslaug and Byzantium, and his descendants, if the sagas speak true, would rule Sweden and carry the legacy of Ragnar into the Middle Ages. To the monks of France and Italy, he was a terror sent by God's wrath. To his people, he was a hero, a wanderer whose name became a fireside legend. Even today, the stories of Bjorn Ironside linger like echoes on the wind, reminders of a time when the sea kings ruled the waves, and the horizon itself was a challenge. When the skalds recited the deeds of Ragnar's sons, each had his glory. Ivar ruled England. Ub fought in Ireland. Halfdan sought his fate in the east. But Bjorn Bjorn Ironside ruled the world. He was the Viking who broke through the pillars of Hercules, who burned cities older than the North itself, who tricked kings and humbled empires. He was the son who surpassed the father, and the man whose saga would outlast the centuries. And so the old skalds sang, "Steel could not pierce him, flame could not burn him, the sea could not drown him, and time could not end him. For Bjorn Ironside's name is iron, and iron never breaks,